Did you know that Goldilocks and the Three Bears was originally written as a cautionary tale about respecting property rights? The story we tell children today actually started as a much darker warning about the dangers of vanity and entitlement.
That's fascinating, especially since modern versions paint it as this almost whimsical tale about finding what's just right. How did we get from cautionary tale to beloved children's story?
Well, when Robert Southey first published it in the 19th century, he was making a pointed commentary about Victorian social boundaries. The way he describes Goldilocks' hair as glittering like spun gold is actually a subtle dig at vanity and privilege.
Hmm. So the detailed descriptions of the bear's possessions, the chairs, bowls, and beds, that's all about class consciousness?
Exactly. And what's really interesting is how the story employs what literary scholars call the rule of three, a narrative device that creates rhythm and builds tension. Each object comes in three sizes. Each action is repeated three times.
The way it's structured almost reminds me of classical fairy tales like Hansel and Gretel, another story about children wandering into danger in the forest.
Oh my goodness, yes. And both stories share this fascinating element of food as temptation. But while Hansel and Gretel find a house made of candy, Goldilocks finds something much more domestic porridge, which speaks to the story's focus on violation of the domestic sphere.
Speaking of domestic spheres, can we talk about how progressive it was to portray bears as this nuclear family unit? They're cooking, taking walks together, maintaining a household.
That's such a crucial point. The bears represent this idealized middle class family, complete with their hierarchy of possessions. The baby bear's silver spoon, for instance, is a clear symbol of generational wealth and parental investment.
You know what's really striking? The way the story handles consequences, or rather, doesn't handle them. Goldilocks faces no real punishment beyond her own fear.
That's right. And it's actually a departure from traditional fairy tales of the time, which often ended with harsh punishments for transgressors. Instead, we get this moment of missed connection when the baby bear cries because he wanted to play with her.
The psychological implications there are pretty deep. The idea that our fear responses might cause us to miss out on meaningful connections.
And that's become even more relevant in our modern context, hasn't it? We're constantly navigating boundaries between connection and privacy, between curiosity and respect for others' space.
Well, that certainly explains why the story has endured and even evolved into scientific terminology, like the Goldilocks zone in astronomy.
Exactly. The story has transcended its original moral message to become this powerful metaphor for finding balance in all sorts of contexts. In economics, psychology, even environmental science, we're always looking for that just right sweet spot.
Though I have to wonder what Southey would think about his cautionary tale becoming a universal metaphor for perfect balance.
You know, that's such an interesting point because the story has this incredible adaptability. While it started as a Victorian morality tale, it's evolved to address different social concerns in each era, from property rights to personal boundaries to the search for perfect balance.
And here we are, still finding new layers of meaning in a story about a little girl who breaks into a bear family's house.
That's what makes great literature endure its ability to evolve while maintaining its core truth. In this case, it's about the constant tension between curiosity and consequences, between our desire to explore and our need to respect boundaries.
So maybe the real just right is finding that balance between adventure and responsibility.
Exactly, and isn't that what we're all trying to figure out? How to satisfy our curiosity about the world while respecting the spaces and boundaries of others? It's remarkable how a simple children's story can capture such a fundamental human challenge.